Okay, so part 2 of this video. Sorry, I had to check something and change the lighting, so hopefully you can see better. But everything still applies. We're continuing on with both arms in this 90-90 position. And you're going to start to move the arms, keeping them in that 90-90 position down towards the table. Now, if this is not comfortable for you, and if you have your head propped on a pillow, your arms are pulling back. So you may need to prop your arm up under a pillow or some type of cushion so where your arms are comfortable. Try to have the arms at that 90-degree position though, even if you are propped up. So just do that several times. Hands relaxed, and you're breathing, and just notice what happens with those shoulder blade bones. How do they lift? And maybe you can see from the camera that as my arm goes down towards the mat or the floor if you're lying on it, the top part of that flat part of the shoulder blade is lifting up. And it's actually sliding up towards your head or in the direction of your head. And then when you come back up with the hand in neutral, it goes back down to where it started from. So get an idea on both sides. You can do them individually, you can do them together. Like, how does that shoulder blade actually lift up? There is a space that's created there. And so we can think of the back of the shoulders. You can also think of the front of the shoulder. And most of us don't think too much about our collarbone, but our collarbone attaches right at the top of the breastbone or your sternum, right where those notches are. That we call it the sternal notch, right at the top. That bump is the bone of the collarbone. And put your fingers around the bone so that you can feel what happens when you start to move the arm down towards the floor, towards your hips. And try a few different spots. Go to the middle of the collarbone and feel how does it move there. And then the collarbone kind of swoops in. You might feel like it gets lost, but it comes out to the outside portion, attaches to the shoulder blade. If that doesn't make sense, take a look. Google the image of collarbone and shoulder blade, and you'll see where they attach, right at the tip. It's called your AC joint, acromioclavicular joint. And you're going to feel that your collarbone moves a little bit differently in each place, but that it's lifting as the arm goes down, and it's also rotating. So feel that on both sides, at least 3 places on both sides, so you can start to become aware of how much the collarbone actually moves in each of these places. And you may discover for yourself, oh my goodness, my left shoulder pops forward a heck of a lot more than the right shoulder does, or I feel more of the collarbone movement on one side versus the other. And just by doing these movements, we're going to help balance the shoulders out. We're going to help make them more efficient when you go to move, when you go to do work. And they're going to sit on your body in a really good position because you're shifting and connecting, and you're becoming aware of how you move through the bones. So if you're not resting, go ahead and rest here after doing that. The arms can be along your sides as you're resting. And now you're bringing your arms back out to the side, bending them to 90 degrees. And you're going to start to move your shoulder blades backwards. Backwards towards your head, keeping that 90-degree angle at the elbows as much as you can. A lot of times people come in with their hands towards their head. So try to keep those elbows or the fists about 90 degrees. So the elbow is 90 degrees, so your fist is not caving in towards your head is what I mean. And just feel what happens to the shoulder blades here and the rest of your body. You might feel like, oh, the top part that lifted up is now actually moving down towards the floor or down towards the table that you're lying on, or outside on the grass, wherever you are. Hopefully you're enjoying a beautiful day as we explore the collarbones. Good. And now connect the two. You're going to move the arms backwards, resting as you need to. You can always pause the video. And then going forward, taking your arms, fists, gentle fists, to not be squeezing, which I just noticed I was doing. So relax those hands, shake them out if you need to. So you're rolling the arms backwards towards your head and then downward towards your pelvis, keeping that as best as you can, 90-degree angle. That's going to allow more movement through the shoulder bones, through the shoulder blade and the collarbones. And you can follow each collarbone individually as you roll one arm downward towards the hips and then backward towards the head. And just feel how the collarbone lifts and rotates downward as the arm goes down towards the hip pelvis. And then the collarbone flattens back down again and rolls up as the arm goes up towards the head. Also try to tune into, it's kind of hard to put your hand on your own shoulder blade, but try to tune into how that shoulder blade is lifting and sliding up towards your head as your hands go down towards your pelvis. And then the shoulder blade flattens back towards the ground and slides down your body on your rib cage as the arms go back towards your head. If you can't sense that, try to visualize that. So take a look at the image of a skeleton or an image in an anatomy book, or simply just on Google Images. Go ahead and rest if you haven't rested. And now what you're going to do is arms are back in that position. You're going to move one arm down and one arm up. Again, still trying to have awareness of what your bones are doing. So as one arm goes down, that shoulder blade really pops up and down towards the pelvis. As the other arm goes up towards your head, the shoulder blade presses back. And only go as far as is comfortable. Again, this is not like a goal or a prize based on how far you go. Actually, sometimes the more subtle the movement, the more you can create change. And just see what this feels like. One arm going down and one arm going up. You may notice a little bit of turning in the base of the neck. So we're actually going to invite your head to turn to the side that the arm is going up towards your head. And then you switch the arms over. So you're always turning your head at the same time as the arms moves, but so that you're looking at the arm that's going up towards your head. And just notice how this feels. We were turning the neck in part one of the video where we were talking about the team players, and the neck is part of the team player of the shoulders. So here we're moving the neck with the help of the arms, and we're moving the arms with the help of the neck. So we're changing up what C7 does, which is your 7th cervical vertebrae. Sometimes it gets a little sluggish and doesn't move. So we're recalibrating the connections here. And we're actually going to do 3 patterns. So the first pattern was keeping your head still, and we did the movement of the arms. Then the next pattern we did was turning your head towards the arm that's going up. And again, you don't have to go as far as you to push the arm down, just to where it's comfortable. So if you're having shoulder pain, you might stop here with the arm kind of up in the air. Or if pain is when you bring the arm down, you might stop there. We don't want to practice painful patterns, so you try to stop before then, and things are going to shift as you respond to your body's needs in that moment. Now the third pattern is looking downward towards the arm, turning your head down, turning your head towards the side that the arm is going downward, and you're going to follow that back and forth. So you roll the head side to side, and just feel what happens here. So the chin is turning towards the shoulder that is popping up because we're moving the head in the direction of the arm that's going down. So it's actually a coming together of those muscles. So we're shortening certain things as we're turning the neck, And we're creating a different relationship. So by playing with the patterns, we get to invite more freedom in the muscles and how the shoulder hangs out, rebalancing tension patterns. Wonderful. Now just check out the neck turning. And you might feel so much looser through the neck. You may actually feel, instead of just the neck moving, now it's more of the shoulders, more of the trunk. And we're going to improve it even more because we want to talk about the team players of the lower body. So go ahead and rest for a minute. Lengthen the legs out if you like. Rest the arms down at your sides. And then go ahead and bend your knees and just see what it's like. Let's go back to the second pattern we did. And you can really do this foot push that we're going to add with any of the patterns, really. But we're going to start with the pattern that for most people feels most pleasant, which is turning your head towards the arm that's moving up towards your head. And so freeze there for a minute. So right now I have my left arm up, my head is turned to the left, my right arm is down. I'm going to push with the right foot. So you're pushing with the foot opposite of the head turn. So my head is turned to the left, I'm pushing with the right foot. I release the foot push, which just feel what happens when you push the foot. It kind of flattens the back, tilts the pelvis a little bit to the left butt cheek. Do that a few times, just pushing the foot and you release, push the foot and release. And then you're going to switch it over. So you release the foot push and you turn your head to the opposite side towards the arm that's going up, and you push with the opposite foot and you release and you turn things over and you push, and you're trying to coordinate the synchronicity of everything. So it's not like you move the arms, then you move the head, and then you push the foot. You want to try to do it all together. So here, when the head turns over and the arms are there, you're already pushing the foot, then you release. As you release, you start to turn things over, and then you push the foot. And then as you release, you're turning the arms over as you roll the head. So everything's working together. And again, you can work on the opposite. You could push with the same side foot. So I could push with the left foot as my head is to the left, and then I can put with the right foot. So again, the more patterns that we play with, the more freedom we're going to get. So go ahead and rest and just notice what's changed with how the shoulders are resting. Right now I feel like both shoulders are flatter than in the first video where I felt like the inner border of my left shoulder, now it's flatter. And now my head turn, go ahead and explore your head turn. My head turn feels like, oh, there's much more of the chest moving, the rib cage, the upper back. So I've shifted some tension patterns, and that C7 at the base of the neck is actually moving more. So go ahead and walk around, see how you feel. We probably have given you Lisa movement lesson hair by now, so your hair is going to be messed up, but it's well worth the effort because you probably feel more aware of all of the shoulder components in your shoulder. When you walk around, try to sense the shoulder, not just the ball and socket, but what we've woken up today, the shoulder blades in the back, as well as the collarbones in the front, and the connection with the chest and the back and the rib cage we got when we did the foot push. And also see how the neck feels. You might feel some more freedom in the neck as well. So I hope you enjoyed today's movement lesson. Stay tuned for more great videos and awakening movements.